Hello and welcome to the special edition of this program on this occasion of Father's Day celebration 2021. As you can see, we have been in the community trying to ask some questions about fatherhood, about what people think about Father's Day in general.
I just think it is more than a day where you celebrate your dad. It is a day you also acknowledge him for what he has done for you, for being in your life, through your whole childhood, basically. I mean, I'm 19 years old, so he's been there for me 19 years. So that technically means a lot to me as someone who's been able to encourage me and stuff. Happy Father's Day. I love you, Dad, and thank you for what you've been doing for me.
Daddy, I love you so much, and I really hope that you'll be there during my happiest moment. I love you so much. I even want to express my gratitude to you, and I really hope you are there. And I really hope you are really, really happy. And I want to grow up to be able to show you how much I've learned from you, and just make you happy. Happy Father's Day. Love you.
I know it's a day we celebrate our dads.
Okay.
How well they have impacted us in our life. Okay. Without our dad, there's so many things. Without my dad that I won't know today. I cannot imagine a life without him. He's changed my life for the better in many ways. I wish him long life and prosperity. He should enjoy the remaining rest of his life in peace and not in pieces. Yeah. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Father's Day for me personally is a time to reflect on how my father has always been there for me and all of my siblings. He's always supportive. He's always been in our lives. He has never been missing. He's loving me, and I just thank God for my father all of my life, and even in my adult years, I still need him. So that's what I reflect on. Happy Father's Day, Donnell Ellis, my daddy. He lives in Michigan City, but he is here in Indianapolis visiting me right now. So happy Father's Day, I love you.
Father's Day means you need to celebrate your dad for the past years and the way he has protected you and tutored you throughout your whole year. I would like to tell my dad that I'm so grateful and happy to be his son, and I'm happy that he introduced me to his family, and God will continue to give him more opportunities to be a better person.
And here, as you can see, we are in the house of Papa, Reverend Dr. John Laoye, a distinguished father in our community. Papa, you are welcome on the program. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir. And I want to congratulate you, sir. You have been chosen as our Father of the Year on CBI Community Network.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. I will start by, wanting to know a little bit about you. What are some of the information you want to share about yourself to our audience?
My name is John Anjola Laoye. I was born in every region of Nigeria. As a child, I grew up in what we call Afin Timi. That is the palace of the royal father, Timi of Ede, Oba Adetoye Laoye.
You are a prince, sir. You said this was 2040. So precisely how old are you now?
Last August I was 80. I'm looking forward to my 81st birthday.
Wow. Growing up as a child in the palace, like you said, I'm looking forward to becoming a father. What are some of the preparations you went through to prepare yourself for fatherhood?
It's a long journey, but luckily I had some mentors who helped me in growing up. First on the list being my father, the late Timi of Ede, a good role model of what a father should be. Not only father to his own children, but father to every child in the community he governed, and a father even in the churches all over the country. I also had some school principals who also showed me a real good model of how to play the role of a father to our teeming youths.
What are some of the father-related positions you have held? I remember you talked about how you have served in different communities in Nigeria, serving the federal government and all that. Is there any of those services, any of those positions that you think are father-related?
Definitely. Growing up, I was very active in the church. I led the choir, so every child in the choir experienced my love and care. And again, as a teacher, I also made sure that I helped to model, to fashion every child that were put under my care. So I remember in particular, while I worked for the federal government, I was the state coordinator of National Directorate of Employment.
Okay, I remember.
At a time when our youths were just roaming the street. So that was father related because I was able to go into every community. I traveled days upon days, states upon states, trying to recruit and train youths so that they can learn a trade and be able to live useful, productive lives. It's quite an opportunity to be able to touch lives.
You have been in America for quite some time. I don't want to go into how long it has been. Have you been engaged in any father-related or leadership-related kind of positions?
Thank you very much. It's been a great, one of the reasons for me coming here is to pay back. Because I went through school here for 9 years and fully enjoyed the scholarship of different schools. So I intentionally came back to pay back. And I chose a career, youth-related profession, so I could help shape and guide youths of this nation. I was a mentor in public schools, Wayne Township, IPS. And I was able to touch many lives. In fact, today, as I enter every store, some of the stores, I run into my students, old students. They call me Dr. L. Meet my wife, meet my son. These are productive lives that make me feel so proud and thankful to God. I enjoy it. Even as I'm here, I also I do missionary trips back home. I go with missionaries here to touch youths back home. I do that every year. So I just can't, that's my life. I just want to touch lives. I want to help youths because some people help me. So I have to pay back.
If you look at the way fatherhood looks like, especially in the American society, what are some of the roles that fathers should play in the lives of their children?
That's a very, very good question because it is society related. We'll have a very different world if all fathers live by example. We don't want to underestimate any child. They're brilliant, they're sharp, they're observant. They watch every move we make. They watch every step we take. They even watch the language that we speak because they want to copy. They want to be like daddy. So we should be careful to set the right example for these children. And I would recommend it fully for parents, fathers in America. Don't do as I say, but do as I do. And that will help the children to grow up right.
As an experienced family engagement, youth mentor, and parenting specialist, so to put it, how would you compare parenting in Africa versus parenting in America here?
It would be a mistake to say parenting lifestyle is the same.
That's right.
But it's different. In the African setting, for example, children are held responsible for their actions. Not that they are not here, but in Africa, they follow what I call the biblical something. You spare the rod and you spoil the child. We had that while I was growing up. It's diminishing now. But accountability is very, very important. And again, in Africa, we have very little. It's like parents somewhere buy a lot of things for children in this environment. Like petting them, I won't say bribing them, but some kids will take advantage of that. So we should be careful. You compensate for good behavior, but also hold kids responsible for their misdemeanors.
How would you distinguish between being a husband versus being a father?
That's very interesting. It's different. In the first instance, before you have the children, you've had your wife.
That's right.
You've lived longer with your wife. You have more to talk about. You have more experiences to share. You have more planning to do. And the responsibility of the home is not just on you. You share the burden of raising the child, of building a home. So that is at a much more mature level than being a father. It's still a responsibility. The love you give the child is unique. It has an advantage. The love you give your wife is also has an advantage. But you've had your wife for a long time, and when the children have grown up and gone away, you are still with your wife, so you better be careful.
Okay,
Let that love be constant.
Be constant.
Yes, make it fresh wine every day.
I know you must have come, through some challenges as a parent, especially as father. What are some of the challenges that you experience, raising children, being a father, and how were you able to cope with them or overcome them?
When my family put God first. As a matter of fact, growing up, every morsel of food I put in my mouth, they taught me to understand that it came directly from God. We pray every morning, pray every night. We put God first. So that is very essential. I have to put God first in bringing up my children. But it will be a challenge raising a child without Christ. And secondly, you have to be able to share your love equally among the children. Don't show favoritism. There's no way a father will not have more passion for a child, but don't wear it. I have an example. One of my daughters gave me a phone call one day and said, "Daddy, guess who this is? The daughter you love most, the one you care for most, the one that is closest to you, the one that all the superlatives she went." I just said, But I thank God, the name I had in my mind, I didn't say it. I said, "Of course I know you are the one. You can't hide from me." Then she mentioned and I said, "Oh, no."
So that was a wrong guess.
I didn't guess. But they all know that I love them equally.
It's been a wonderful time being with you on this program. What are some of the messages you want to send out to fathers on this occasion of Father's Day?
I want all fathers to know that it's quite a privilege to be a father at this particular season in the history of mankind. We just went through a pandemic which put some burden on fathers. They cared for their own health, cared about the health of the mother, then the children. So I want to congratulate them for passing through easily. But I want to say above all, share your love equally among your children. I will close with an example. A friend used to visit me with a bottle of fruit wine and say, please pray that prayer for me again. Many times he will come. And what is the prayer? Why jẹun ọmọ ṣùgbọ́n ò ní wojú ọmọ kò tó jẹun. Simply put, you will eat the fruit of your labor. Your labor over your children will not be in vain, but you will not lack anything. You will not lack food. You will not expect people to bring it before you. God will provide for you and not live an anxious life. So I'm going to pray for every father. You will eat the fruit of your labor.
Thank you again very much. Viewers, it's been a wonderful time with Prince Reverend Dr. John Laoye. We've been having a chat on this year's Father's Day celebration, and he has given us quite a number of useful advice. Love your children as father. Don't wear on your face how much you prefer one to another among your children. And he also said that we should be ready to make every child responsible, and also know that there is, train them to know that there is a consequence, there are consequences for the actions that they take. That keeps them growing and keep them, having the right skills, skills as children as they grow up. Again, I want to say thank you so much for being our guest on the program. My name is Larry Omotosho. I say thank you for watching.